You're listening to Melissa Gorga on Display with me, Melissa Gorga, on Podcast One.
Power Penny days are back, just in time for spring at JCPenney. Stock up on wardrobe staples to home essentials, like tees for the family, select styles starting at $7. Soak up the savings with $5 Home Expressions quick-dry bath towels in an array of colors. Or use your coupon to save an extra 25% store-wide. Incredible prices, spectacular savings. Hurry, ends Sunday. JCPenney. Offers and coupon valid 3/24 to 3/27. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details. Power Penny deals excluded from coupon.
I saw the sign.
I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign.
That's
I love
a banger.
that song.
A banger.
No one's gonna tear you up to get into the. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Melissa Gorga on Display. So much going on over here this week. I'm hoping everyone else is having a great week. Over here, we just opened the new Envy over in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and you know, for lack of a better word, my life has been just, I would say, insane. It's been crazy. I want to thank everyone who's come out for that and who's always supported Envy, because if anyone has been watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey from the beginning until now, you know, it was a little bit of a struggle for me in the beginning. It really was. It was like a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids trying to break free from, you know, just the traditional like mom going to work and getting out of the house and wanting what I want. And it was a long road. It's been 6 years now that I've had Envy. And so this Envy is bigger and better. It's in the best location. I am loving the town of Ridgewood. Everyone has been so amazing. All the shops in Ridgewood, everyone has been coming in. All the locals, I love you guys so much. It's been chaos, I'm not going to lie, because I'm just trying to hire more girls, and it's been, you know, it's been even busier than I imagined it would be, but I'm grateful for all of that. And so my life's been like upside down. I have been in Envy world definitely for the last 14 days. But always grateful. And anyone who's not here in New Jersey, know that you can always go to envybymg.com and you can shop all the looks, because, you know, I love to dress you all, and fashion has always just been so fun for me. So I'm so grateful for all of that. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Well, I guess The Real Housewives of New Jersey we can talk about for a second. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of news outlets reaching out to me because, yes, I watched Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and I did find out on TV that I'm not going to be in Teresa's wedding and I'm not a bridesmaid, which I'm okay with. I'm fine with. I think you know, I understand, to each their own. You know, since everyone wants to know how I feel, let's just answer it. No, I had no idea. No, yes, I found out on TV, and I pretty much assumed that. But I guess my big question is, you know, are her new sister-in-laws in the wedding? Is it like a no-fam wedding other than the 4 daughters, her 4 beautiful daughters, and like a couple of her friends? And if that's the case, then I think that makes perfect sense. I mean, if she's having Louis' sisters, well, you know, then I guess that makes perfect sense for Teresa. So I don't know. I wish her nothing but happiness. I'm very happy that she's happy. I love to see her smile when she's with Louis. So whatever she decides, it's her wedding, and I will be fine with it. I just, you know, I don't know. She probably put me in an ugly dress anyway. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, but for real. No, just kidding. No, seriously though. Anyway, so I mean, that's my immediate thoughts on that. I feel like I've been there for her through thick and thin, through so much that her life and her girls and her family has been through, and with her parents. And, you know, Joe and I have been here for a long time. You know, we've always backed her up, and we haven't said much on the show in a negative light regarding her and Louis, and it's for a reason. It's because, you know, we want her happy and we want it to be good. So I hope she sees that and realizes that, and, you know, and I wish her nothing but happiness, and I'm sure her wedding will be absolutely beautiful. So moving on from that, okay, I just wanted to touch it a little bit so everyone can stop asking me. Moving on from that, let's just talk about the Bachelor finale for a second, because holy crap. I mean, I cannot believe that Susie is actually taking him back after everything he put her through. I mean, I don't know. Does everyone feel like sometimes like absence makes the heart grow fonder? Or it's like if he feels like someone is moving on, then you want them back. You always want what you can't have type of thing. I don't know. I just can't believe she went back with Clayton. I mean, he put her through a lot. And there was like a little semi-proposal. And, you know, when she left him after that semi-proposal, I'm like, all right, you go, girl. Like she was being strong, but I don't know. She's back. So I guess like, let's see where that goes. There were so many crazy moments in the finale. And then when Clayton broke up with Rachel and Gabby and they're in the same room, I mean, Gabby, first of all, your reactions were like priceless. And I just really felt for Rachel. It seemed like she really took it hard. She definitely took it harder. So I don't know, but let's see. Like Rachel and Gabby, I'm so happy to see you both as the Bachelorettes for next season. That is going to be super fun. And I wish you guys nothing but happiness and success. So talking about reality TV, let's move on to my next guest, which I'm so excited about. She is no stranger to all the craziness and late nights and all craziness of Bravo TV. You've definitely seen her on Bravo's Summer House, and she hosts her own podcast, Burning in Hell. We have Hannah Berner today. What's up, girlfriend? How are you?
Thank you for having me, Melissa. It's an honor and a privilege to be on your pod. And I'm so happy that you have your own pod and your own voice.
I know. I can't believe it. I found my voice, you know?
Do you like interviewing people?
I actually really do. I'm surprised at how much I like it. I wasn't one who was like so gung-ho on it at first. I was kind of like, I don't know, like maybe I'll try this. And everyone's like talking me into it almost because they were just like, Melissa, trust us. Like, so, and then once I started doing it and I'm like having these conversations with people, I feel like I know everybody now. I know everybody very deeply.
It is
everyone
such an excuse to meet people. Like, you're just like, hey,
There
you want to
you
go to
go.
my pod? And then after an hour, you're like, are we soul sisters?
Yes, like I'm telling you, that's how I feel with everyone. So let's see if we become soul sisters.
Yeah. No
First
pressure.
of all, have we ever met in person?
It's so funny you ask because I was trying to figure that out before I got on because obviously I feel like I know you and I'm good. I'm good friends with Margaret. I've met Teresa. I pronounced
Everybody's
Teresa's
good
name.
friends with Margaret. Name someone who's not good friends with Margaret.
I infamously interviewed Teresa when I used to work for Betches back in the day, and I mispronounced her name, and it was like super embarrassing.
What you would say, like Judy J?
I said Teresa. Yeah, I said Teresa Judice, and she goes, "What? What'd you call me?" And I just like died laughing, and
I knew you just got hysterical. She did it with the accent. I just had Aileen on from Betches the other very recently.
It is such a small world. Aileen was a big reason that I like got into comedy and podcasting because she gave me a comedy video producing gig when I was 25 to just to write memes and tweets and little sketches. So shout out to Aileen.
Yeah, listen, she's pretty amazing too with everything she's done at such a young age and what she's created, that monster, which, you know, I just spoke about her. You know, we just talked last week. She was pretty interesting. That's pretty amazing what they created from like the ground up, 3 girlfriends, right?
Yes. And I think people love them because, they're just 3 girlfriends being themselves. And I like connecting myself with like entrepreneurial, badass, and just very authentic women who are being themselves and like owning it.
Right. True. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit first about Summer House. Obviously, just because, you know, we got the Bravo peeps in the house. They're usually around me. They're all in my territory.
They're still around me too.
You know, it's funny because I spoke to Tamra Judge the other day, who is no longer on Bravo anymore either. She was on the OC Housewives, right? She told me that it was so difficult for her. It was so hard for her when they had let her go that she almost fell into like a deep hole. She muted us all. She muted every housewife. She basically turned it off and pressed mute because it was hard for her to even watch it on social media. She didn't watch the show anymore. Did you feel any of these feelings when you were no longer on Summer House?
For sure. 100%.
Really?
Because it's the 3 years that I was on, it's your life. And also with reality TV, there's a lot of like people caring about, you know, followers and fame. And like you see all the like storylines that are being pushed. And I had to kind of remove myself from that to kind of get back to what I wanted to get into comedy and stand up in my podcasting. And especially when you feel like there's unresolved issues with stuff, you don't want to see people on social media. Even like my best friends who are still on the show, Paige and Sierra, I told them, I was like, I have to meet you guys because it's basically like all your friends are hanging out without you all the time.
It's like you're watching the party and you weren't invited, which has to.
I literally wasn't invited to multiple parties, so it was like
it's hard.
And also, it's not just you and a friend group; it's in the public. So the public are seeing you now, basically being told like you're not a part of the group anymore. And but I feel like a lot of people listening, I think like everyone's had a moment where they've been kind of isolated by a friend group or kind of like pushed out by a group of people who want to be like, we don't like you anymore type thing. And you deal with that every season in Housewives. I feel like where people are getting isolated and then you have to move on. But for me, like you're done with the game. Like I got out of the game. So now I've been working on like, I'm getting married. I'm very excited for my bachelorette party that Paige and Sierra are going to be at. 'Cause they are really like, I created really fucking amazing friendships from that show with certain people.
That's the solid part. By the way, I know Sierra. I did a Marshall's commercial with her, and I fell in love with her.
Oh my God, you guys look so hot and like, oh my God, I remember that commercial. And she's just the best. And what's funny is I met her when they were kind of trying to make me jealous that like the guy I was talking to said that he liked her, and then I met her and I was like, wait, I like you more than I like him.
I really liked her. I thought that she was pretty amazing. So she's an awesome girl. But yeah, going back to that, I mean, it is kind of, it's difficult to sit there and you're watching it. You're getting kicked out of a friend group, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And you're kind of watching the friend group move on. And that's rough. I know that's got to be rough. But I have to say,
oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, but if you're concentrating now on becoming a comedian, or you were a comedian before, how did that work?
Great question. So Betches, I was doing my like creating funny videos and writing and all this stuff. And then I got on Summer House, and it was actually Jim Leonard, Small World, the lawyer we're like name dropping, but Michelle Chichesvili, who I know worked with you in PR, is my good friend. And I said, I'm scared. What do I
Bravo
do?
PR.
Yes, I said, what do I do? I'm starting a reality TV show. And she goes, let me hook you up with Jim, who has worked as a lawyer for Real Housewives. And he basically was like, start a podcast. You want them to hear your real voice, what you're really like. You got to monetize them. You know, and I was like, okay. So I started my podcast, and then Caroline said, do you want to do a live podcast? And my friend goes, I dare you to do 10 minutes of stand-up. And I'd been dating a stand-up comedian at the time, so I was kind of really in that world. And I did it, and then I haven't stopped. Unfortunately, it wasn't something that Summer House, they wanted to cover. So now I've been able to kind of put my all into it. I also saw Joe. Joe and I are like going to the same clubs and stuff. And I mean, this is the thing. I'm from Brooklyn originally. I'm half Italian, and I see Joe and I see you, and I feel like that's why I love your guys' show. It's so naturally funny. You can't help but be naturally funny. It's in your blood.
It's like, just in our blood. It's just it's the stupid shit we say. It's the way that we run relationships. I think it's just the way that we move, you know?
Yes.
And I think people think it's funny. We don't even do anything. We're like, what's so funny? It's just the banter of us, like back and forth and
how you make fun of him. It makes me so happy. It's so good.
Because, I mean, he's so easy to make fun of. And, you know, listen, he's another one that out of the clear blue was like, hey, I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm like, what? Like, that is like one of the hardest things to do. And this is for you as well. I mean, you have to know this. Like, walking into a room and saying, like, hey, I am just going to stand here and you're all going to laugh. Right away, it makes me not want to laugh. That's what I tell Joe. I'm like, the fact that I know that you're trying to make me laugh makes me not want to laugh. And I think Joe is so great at like, if you're out to dinner, he's always the guy that
Killing
everyone's
it.
laughing at.
Killing
it on date nights when everybody wants to come to dinner with us because it's like we're the fun couple to go to dinner with. We're funny. But like, I'm like, Joe, a stage? That's a whole nother ball game. I mean, has it been difficult for you?
Well, it's funny. Joe is like on a journey. I perform all week in the city. Like I work on my sets, and I've been doing it for a couple years now. And I have a lot of good people around me who are like New York comics who keep me kind of focused on what I really need to work on. Cause it's great that you can sell tickets, but then it's like, you really it's an art. And I was always funny, but it's different. Yeah. Getting on a stage and talking at people. But I realized comedy is less like a speech and more actually like a dance. Cause like the audience is a part of it with you. And so it becomes this, I just like making people laugh. It just gets down to that. Like, that's what makes me happy. And I think after reality TV, when you find yourself in these dramas you never thought you'd be in, it's been this refreshing kind of like, honestly, like stand up, like saved my life, because instead of sitting around and just looking at my phone, looking at the people who have declared they don't like me anymore and that whatever, I now was able to just create and try to make people laugh, but make them laugh through my truth of like, this is what's fucked up with me. This is why I struggle with. And hearing that
that's what
I'm not
everyone
alone.
loves the most. People want to know the truth, the raw, the things that they deal with. That they don't want to hear like a made up joke. Your real life is probably more funny than any joke you can come up with.
You're so right, because I started with like astrology jokes. I make fun of cats farting, and then I started to tell stories
Cats
of like
farting. No, I want to hear about your deep struggles.
Yeah, so then I started to tell like fucked up dating stories, and I talk about like my engagement, and I've like hit on Summer House a little bit, not too much because I'm still processing it, to be honest. But what you said is right. Like I had 2 really incredible seasons of Summer House where like people like really connected to me, and I didn't expect that. And then my last season like did not show the best light of a situation. Like I feel like my story wasn't really shown. And my stand-up has been a way of kind of being like, hey, guys, like I know we all have ups and downs, and this is just me in the raw.
Right. And that's what people appreciate the most. And just the reason I tell Joe the same. I'm like, stop talking about this dog thing that you keep talking about. I'm like, tell us about your day, because that's funny shit. Like what you do in a day, and just like how you act with me, and like with the kids, and like that's funny shit when you tell us.
Yeah, because anyone could write a punchline, but what makes Joe unique is who he is. And I always say they don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. So it's like when you leave that dinner table, you're like, holy shit, that guy had great energy and was likable and made fun of himself the whole time.
Right. Like, are you inspired when you leave? Or how do you feel like, if you inspired? I think everybody wants to be inspired. He's doing these crazy quotes too on Instagram every day. Oh my God. He spells half the shit wrong.
But he pumps me up. Like after one of his like misspelled posts, I'm like, I need to invest in the stock market. Like I need to take over the world.
I can't handle it. I'm like, I'm literally sitting on the other end of the couch. I'm like, Joe, delete it. Just fucking delete it.
But I do think that you're lucky that you have this relationship where he's so into the entertainment, because I feel like there's so many guys who don't want to be with Real Housewives because they want to be away from the attention, and he just like is so good with it. Like honestly, the husbands on your show kill it, and not a lot of husbands do.
Guys, if you know me, you know I love jewelry, and you know what they say: the more affordable the jewelry, the more you can have. Which is why I'm here to tell you about Ana Luisa Jewelry. Ana Luisa specializes in crafting high-quality jewelry at very affordable prices. They carry necklaces, earrings, bracelets, all sorts of items that you can wear to jewel up your look during the day or the night. Their items are extremely unique and will leave you feeling empowered, elegant, and at your finest. I love the look of their jewelry. I have these little mini huggy hoops that are so cute. And they have this Elise pendant that is simple, it's subtle, and it's extremely classy. Plus, Ana Luisa cares about the planet. Their jewelry is carbon neutral and is delivered in carbon neutral packaging. You don't have to worry about where it came from. You'll be glitzed out and guilt-free. Right now, they have a sale going on that's too good to be true. You can get 20% off their entire store when you go to shop.analuisa.com/Melissa. You guys know me and my philosophy. Treat yourself. And what's a better way to treat yourself than sprucing up your jewelry collection at an affordable price? Remember, it's shop.analuisa, ANALUISA.com/Melissa for 20% off their entire store. That's shop.analuisa.com/Melissa. And tell them Melissa sent you. Mwah. Online shopping isn't slowing down anytime soon. Is your business ready to keep up with the pace? With ShipStation, you'll never worry about shipping again. Make the switch to a solution that handles all of your shipping needs quickly, affordably, and painlessly. ShipStation is already trusted by 100,000 e-commerce sellers. You can keep track of orders from any sales channel. You can manage every order, whether it's on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, or your very own website. This can be done from anywhere, even your phone. And there's no more headaches from dealing with returns and return tracking. ShipStation makes it easy. ShipStation can save you time and money, the most important things when running a business. That's because ShipStation gives your businesses access to the same discounted rates usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies. Make shipping the easiest part of having an online store. Believe me, you have bigger ideas to think about. Use my offer code Melissa to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Just go to ShipStation.com, click on their microphone at the top of the page, and type in Melissa. ShipStation.com. Make ship happen. Do you watch our show?
I'm not like caught up, but I was doing real chat room on Bravo, which was a talk show with Porsche. Oh, thank you. And we're obsessed with New Jersey. We wanted to talk about it every second. And I also watched. Yeah, I've watched like the beginning ones, but
Where did chat room go? I like chat room a lot.
It was, oh my God, thank you. It was an amazing experience that was like purely like deep COVID. Like I shot, for people who don't know, it was a talk show on Bravo that I shot in my mom's kitchen on the top of a toaster oven. And we just put a cute top on. I'd do my makeup and we'd shoot for a couple hours and it would go out.
We need to bring that back. I need to do that with you because I am.
Yes,
I love it. We need to talk about this.
Well, you're naturally good at it. I feel like we stopped it because things started opening up and it was kind of like a late night fun thing, but we had the best time and we started to bring in guests. It was amazing for me to like sit with a bunch of housewives and talk about our experience on reality TV, which is so unique because people talk about reality TV all the time, but not from knowing like how the sausage is made, which I think was what made the show fun. And we knew a lot of the women we were talking about, so we'd have like fights about it. I'd be like, she didn't mean it like that. And I was like, I don't know. I met her at a party once. I think she did. And I'm like, oh, tea.
Yeah, you're getting the inside. You guys had like the inside info. I actually watched it whenever it was on, and I thought it was great. It was almost like watching, when E! News used to sit and like critique the dresses. It was like critique the shows. I loved it. It was awesome.
And I feel like many housewives, including yourself, have such a good sense of humor and such great stage presence in general that like Portia's a fucking comedian.
I know.
And because you can't just put people on TV and expect them to like light up a screen. And I mean, you guys are all incredible.
Wait, so did you meet your man on reality? So did you meet him through the show?
Oh, good question. I did not.
Okay.
I met him. I was 29, single, in deep quarantine with my parents in Shelter Island, out in Long Island. We were like fostering 4 cats. I was very single. My mom was like, so how did we get here? Like, we were reflecting on my life.
What's happening to us all?
And then there was this guy who's a comedian who I'd seen perform before, who followed me on Instagram, who just messaged me and said, hey, are you out east? Because he saw I took a picture with Luann, which is very random, who goes to Shelter Island.
Right. And
I said, yeah, I'm out east. And he goes, do you want to get coffee in Sag Harbor? I said, yes. We got coffee. We went on like 2 more dates. And then I was like, I have to go film Summer House, which is 8 weeks locked in a house. I called him every night, crying, laughing, FaceTime sex, everything.
Ooh.
And then he visited for like 3 days on the show. And then after the show, we basically moved in together and then got engaged after 6 months.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
You guys filmed Summer House for 8 weeks where Do you go home on the weekends or like how does
so
that
that's
work?
the problem, Melissa. Normally the show is like follows us during the week in the city, working, follow our jobs, then we go party on the weekends in a share house, come back. But this particular season, they locked us in a house for COVID safety. And it was one of the hardest summers of my life.
I mean, you literally weren't allowed to go into general population because you would bring
We
it
were
back
allowed to go on some walks, but like you couldn't really go far.
Oh my God, I would die.
And even the days that like we weren't filming, you're still with the people you're in a fight with. So like there was never that and I'm also the kind of person, I'm like, I just want to shut the light and be alone with my cat. I need to refuel the battery.
Right. I'm like that too. If you let me go home for like a day or two and bring me back, I am such a great housewife. But when
I'm a new woman.
Yes, I'm a new woman. But when I have to continue, like sometimes the cash trips that they send us on, oh my God, by like day 4, I'm vicious. Like I just start to look at the producers when they walk in the room like, are you going to ask me to speak? Like I am a savage because I'm that girl who needs a break. I need to go home. I need to go to sleep. And I come back like chipper the next morning.
Yes,
you know?
I get energy from being alone. I love being alone.
Me
So the
too.
fact that, and anywhere I'd go, like I'd run into someone I was in a fight with, and it started to like mess with me. And I also feel like that they become like your siblings. So like someone says something and you're like, you've been doing this for 4 weeks and I can't stand it anymore. And they're like, they're breathing. And I'm like, I know.
You're like, I'm sick of this shit. Stop breathing. No, I know. It's like the Big Brother house, really. It was like you guys
It
were
was. And what makes Summer House unique is we have hidden cameras everywhere. So just because the big cameras aren't there doesn't
there's
mean they're not
definitely a
capturing
camera.
stuff.
So I die when you guys like get in the bed and pull the cover. I'm like, what the frick? I would go crazy. I'd be like, get
So
out
I
of
literally
my room.
felt like I could never be just like alone.
It's crazy.
And
It's crazy.
was
And I think
wild.
about it, like a lot of you, like when I watch Summer House, and you know, I'm not fully up to date on it. I've definitely seen a little bit, but like I think to myself, oh my God, when I was their age, I had 3 children, like literally. And I'm almost like, and I want, cause you know, I had all my kids by 30. So I'm watching and I'm like, I think I had Joey, I was 30 or 31. And I'm watching and I'm like, wow, like who's doing it right and who's doing it wrong? Because like, should I have still been partying and like making out with
No.
boys in hot tubs, or am I good that I have the 3 kids at 30? I'm so confused.
Well,
I
part
was
of the
just
show
like,
is it's
crazy.
a thin line, but that's a valid point because it's a thin line between being like, oh, this is so fun versus like, are these people okay? And I think that's what makes the show kind of funny because when I was 26 and single, the show was so fun for me. I'm like, I'm meeting new people, I'm dating, I'm getting drunk, I'm feeling myself.
Yes.
I'm in the Hamptons, and then I got engaged. I turned 30, and
You're
it
over it.
wasn't a right situation for me anymore. And I do think it's healthier for me now to invest in my relationship and do my comedy because I don't really want to get pee in hot tubs on the weekend anymore, even though it was so fun when I was single and younger.
Of course it is. Well, we all go through the stage of like, we want to be wild and fun and act cool. But like, there does come a time where you're like, all right, it's time to become an adult. And, you know, you're wasting time. You got to start making money. I got to start putting my,
I know.
you know, it's time to build the life here, you know?
I joke because I'm Italian, like I love eating and I've never been that good at drinking. I'm like I'm way funnier sober. Like the second I'm a little drunk, I'm just like, who wants to dance with me? And they're like, Hannah, go to sleep. And I'm like, okay. So I prefer eating and maybe a little drink and good conversation with like people I love.
Look at
you
that.
know?
You're maturing. I love it.
I mean, in certain ways, not all.
Wait, so did you ever have a moment though when you were no longer on that you were pissed at Paige or at Sierra because you were just like, I'm not on anymore and you are, and this is like, I'm mad? And did you guys have a little riff at any point?
That's a great question. Okay.
No, because it's hard feelings. You almost want to blame someone else. Like, why aren't you pulling for me? Or like,
So they're in our show, there's like a weird hierarchy that I wasn't aware of until the show came out, of like certain stories they were showing. And Paige, I knew if she spoke up, she would have been in my situation. And we've talked about it where she was like, I didn't defend you the way I wanted to just because like it wasn't like safe. And now I think as people watch the show, I think she's gonna be more vocal about stuff. But unfortunately in my season I didn't, and Sierra did have my back, it just wasn't really shown. So Paige and I were kind of caught in a hard political place, but we have a podcast now, Giggly Squad Together, we do every week, where we're actually kind of closer than ever because we're not worried like, oh, is she going to use this against me when we're filming? Or like, is she going to tell someone? Because she knows like I'm out of the game. I'm retired.
So you're safe to her now. Now she can speak freely around you and not worrying about you coming on to the scene and like spilling the beans, basically.
And also, Melissa, I'm going to be honest. I could have totally been like, you know what? You didn't have my back, even though I know you did behind closed doors, and fuck you. But like, our friendship is so important, and I realize with friendships you're gonna have times where like people make mistakes or people make decisions you don't agree with, and I realize like our friendship is so much more important than like this unique reality TV situation that we were put in that I didn't like how it turned out, where it's like who knows who, like we're put in such unique social situations, and I know her heart and like my heart, and I'm lucky to have her in my life.
Okay, that's fair.
Because like how many tiffs have you had with people with fucking Joe on TV, you know, and you still love him?
Yes, of course. So many. There's times with our close. I mean, I film with my sister-in-law. I mean, let's be real. It's like back and forth. Margaret and I are really great friends. She does things that sometimes I come out on my interviews or my confessionals, and I'm like, Margaret's going a little too far. And, you know, my phone rings, and I'm like, you were going too far, though. Like you're my friend, but I thought you were going too far. You know, like. You know, it's just how it goes.
But in real life, you wouldn't have to speak to the public to give an opinion on like the stupid shit your friend's doing.
Exactly.
Or also, like, honestly, Paige did not kind of speak up against something to protect herself. And who am I to tell her you need to put yourself on the chopping block like I did?
Right.
So I know that her decisions were never to hurt me.
Right. She was protecting herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I do think that things work out and like the truth comes out about stuff. And fortunately this season, I think people are seeing the truth about some of my opinions that weren't shown during the season.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, listen, you always spoke the truth and you've always kept it real. You've always said what you needed to say. I mean, if you could say anything to this cast right now, what would it be?
You know what? I've been in a lot of therapy.
Oh, I know. You just came out of your therapy session, you said.
I just came out of therapy session because my biggest fear was going on a reality show and people seeing me in a light that I didn't feel like was authentic to me. And my biggest fear also is like for your friends to turn on you, the friends of 4 years, to just suddenly be like, this girl's evil. My comedy friends are so funny. They're like, how'd you like become the evil person on Bravo? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, you're like, really?
Like, you know when you have a tough, but they're like, they laugh at it. They think it's so funny because they know who I am, and I'm just like a goofball who's actually so bad at confrontation. So what I would say to the cast is like, you guys are really good at reality TV, and like keep doing you, and I only have love to give to you guys. And yeah,
that's
like
fair.
I support them, and it wasn't right for me, and I'll honestly thank you for kicking me out of something that I don't think was meant for me anymore.
That's fair, and that's honest.
Because I've done work of like, I feel like the universe really kicks you out of things that you did not feel was authentic to you. Well, it's funny. I think my first 2 seasons, they showed like my funny side, and then my last season, I felt there were things said that weren't shown to me that really affected my attitude. Right. So like when people are judging you based on things that you're reacting to that they don't see, it's really difficult for me to defend myself. So I kind of am just like, you know what, that's not a situation I want to be put in again. And I'll always stand up to abusive men.
Let's talk about health for a minute, because there's nothing more important than taking care of your health. If you're not feeling your best, you can't be your best. Sambucol helps you feel your best by supporting your immune system with premium black elderberry. Sambucol is the original black elderberry brand, so you know you're getting immune support you can trust. They have these gummies that you can take every morning to make sure you can keep doing what you need to do. These gummies taste good, and they're so easy to incorporate into your daily wellness routine. And because they taste so good, a lot of people take them as a morning treat with their coffee so they can get their day started off right. Sambucol also has a ton of other formulas to choose from, including syrups, drink powders, tablets, capsules, and more. They even have products for kids and babies too. You can help support your entire family's immune system with Sambucol. Use code Melissa and get 15% off your next order of $9.99 or more at sambucolusa.com. That's SAMBUCOL code Melissa to get 15% off your next order of $9.99 or more.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Dubrow, and do I have some exciting news for you? We are launching a variety of new episodes that are going to have amazing special guests, some of my close friends, and so much more. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to get to hear from fans, new friends, and get an inside look of my world. We're really excited for you to listen and join in for Heather Dubrow's World on Podcast One. Episodes drop on Thursdays and Fridays. Tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, tell me what's next for you. When are you getting married?
Oh my God. This summer in May, I'm getting married in West Hampton, and his house is right by Jackie's house. We were actually supposed to meet, but it's, gotten chaotic. But it's on that strip. West Hampton, I like to say, is like the more chill of the Hamptons, yes. And it's closer to the city. And yeah, it's going to be a nice celebration of a combination of like comics, crazy reality TV people, Dez's family, my family. He's also spent a lot of his life in Ireland, so we have like Irish people coming over. So it started as like the cutest, most intimate wedding, and now it's just gone out of control.
Always. That's how it always goes. Wait, tell me a little bit about your dress. What does it look like?
Oh, okay. Well, Portia and Giselle approve, and Paige approves, which is important.
Okay.
It's actually, they said, more like romantic than they thought I'd go, because I kind of am not always the girly type.
I was going to say, I don't see you as like girly.
Yeah, it's not a princess dress, but like I'm showing the booty, and it's comfortable. And we have, but fashion, obviously. It's hard because you pick a dress a year before, and then trends are changing, and then you're looking at Instagram and you're like, wait, that's cool. And I thought I was going to be the chillest bride, and now I'm like, if I don't have for Cynthia's and a human sacrifice, I'm going to be pissed. So like I've turned into, yeah, because you realize it represents you, and at first you're like, who cares? Let's do a pizza party, and then you're like, if that candlestick is not exactly bigger than the bouquet in this way, and you freak out.
You turn into a savage psycho. It's just crazy. You always say like, I'm not going to be that girl. It's a party. I'm not going to be that girl. And then once the details start coming, wow, it just comes out. You're just like, no.
Where did you get married?
Oh my God. When or how?
Where?
I got married at like the most Italian spot in New Jersey. It's called Macaluso's, that you can get married at. How about this? The reason we picked there is because all of the Italians, the old school deep Italians, okay, pick this place because the cocktail hour, it's all about the food. Okay. It's all about the food.
Yes.
The cocktail hour is so freaking insane. It's like the size of like the whole entire room, and it's six seafood. It's a ridiculous cocktail hour. So I had my wedding based off my cocktail hour because I was marrying, the most Italian man in America. So that's kind of what happened to me. I mean, I look at my dress. I kind of did the princess thing. I was very got married when like Jessica Simpson was getting married, and like to Nick Lachey, and like, so it was very like the sweetheart thing was in, and the A-line princess thing. Like I did all of that. So, I mean, would I love to do it again just for the photos and the picture? I was way too tan. Do not get a spray tan. Everyone gets a spray tan before they get married. And then I looked ridiculous in my pictures. You can't even see the makeup because the tan, your tan is so strong. When you tan too much, then I couldn't see any makeup. All I see is tan. I could see the spray tan.
And against the white.
Yes. I was like, who told me to spray tan that many times or go tanning? I don't know what I did. It just, my makeup I wasn't crazy about. I was like, what was this hair? Like, I need a redo with that.
But at the time, you took so long to make those critical decisions, and then afterwards, you're like, what the hell was that?
I thought I was perfect.
They say to try to look like yourself. Yeah, they try to look like yourself. But also, I feel like they put so much pressure on your wedding day as like, this is the biggest day of your life. And I've been working on, in general, even though I have a man, decentering men from your life, as in like, it's not your biggest success. It's not the most important thing,
Yes.
Like there's so many things that make you, and like you don't need them, you want them. Obviously, like as your husband, they're so important as a family, but just it's interesting that like all these people are celebrating the biggest celebration of my life, and it's because I like met my man.
Right.
And like the feminist in me is like, but also it's just a good excuse to have all the family together. And I feel very lucky to have found like a partner that wants to be a part of like my chaotic journey. And also I think what you've dealt with is, not to stereotype Italians, but traditionally like my Nana got married at 18. She's told her dad she wanted to go to college. He cried like because he didn't want her to. And I feel like me and you are both very entrepreneurial and very driven in our own right. And I think it's nice that we have guys who, even though they want to be our masculine men and they want to be there and save us and protect us, they let us do our thing.
Well, that's the truth. I kind of feel like I do know, I can see both sides. I have the best of both worlds because I am such like a businesswoman deep inside in my heart. I want to go to work. I want to thrive. Like, we're entrepreneurs, right? But then I have that old school, I have a little piece of that next to me every day, and it's in me too. I appreciate that, the old school like mentality, and just, I do. So I feel like I'm both. I'm so both. I really am.
No, and I because I feel like that's been your storyline before, where you're battling that, and I think you're such a great example for women to show the reality of it. That it's not like you could do it all. It's like you can, and it's kind of hard.
It's hard. You have to like break free of it. You have to break free. It's like a whole process. It took me years to get to where I am.
And you're a mom,
right?
Like
exactly of 3. It took me years, Hannah. You have no idea. I'm here now though, and I am not
so
moving.
Adorable. Well, I was about to say, I was researching you before this because I'm excited to interview you, and like you got your second Envy going out. You have this podcast, which is so much hard work, and I can already tell you're such a natural interviewer, but like you're just getting started.
Oh yeah, there's so much going on. There is, and I love it. I love every minute of it. That's just who I am. So, but all good things to you. I really do hope everything goes so perfect on your wedding day.
Thank you,
podcast, I can't wait to come. We're going to flip the switch. You're going to talk to me. I'm going to come on your podcast. Okay.
Yes.
So, and I want to hear about all what's up next for you when I come onto your podcast. We're going to talk about everything. Let's do with the comedy tour. You have to tell everybody when can we hear some of this comedy?
Oh yeah. Go to hannahburn.com. I'm in South by Southwest. I'm in Denver, Atlanta, Charlotte. I'm doing another festival in Austin, and I'm in New York City all the time at the Stand performing during the week. I definitely should have Joe over to introduce him to them. They're actually Italian run, and they would love to give him spots.
Oh my God,
we got to keep it in the family. We got to keep it in the family. And great pizza, great brick oven pizza. And yeah, follow me at Being Burns on Instagram, TikTok, and listen to my podcast Burning in Hell. And Paige and I have a podcast called Giggly Squad, which is super fun.
All great things. But before I let you go, we're going to do a little segment. There's some rapid questions. It's called Grilled with Gorga. You're just going to answer these questions pretty quickly. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Grilled with Gorga. Here we go. Your first celebrity crush.
Channing Tatum.
Your favorite 90s song.
Shit.
So many. What if I said 80s?
I know.
I give people choices, 80s or 90s.
80s. Okay. Wait, not shit. I'm getting all my decades confused because I was born in 91.
So then we need a 90s song.
Oh, I want to do I Saw the Sign.
I
Ace.
saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. I love that song.
That's a banger.
No one's gonna tear you up to get into the light. Okay, good. Got it. Love it. What's your biggest regret?
Oh God, being hard on myself when I was growing up and trying my best.
Fair. Okay. Best decision.
Sorry, that was deep.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I can go really deep right there, but we're just gonna like.
You're like, and that's a whole nother podcast for another time.
Hold on, we can have an hour conversation about that. You should have told me about this earlier, but we'll talk about that another day. Damn. All right. Well, now I'm curious. What's the best decision you've ever made?
To leave relationships or situations that give me bad anxiety.
Okay. What's your pet peeve?
My pet peeve is people who walk slowly. That's the most New York shit ever.
That is, but it's such a true one. No one has said that to me yet. That's all. Actually, it's my pet peeve as well. I'm like, get out of my way.
Or like do it on your own. Don't do it in the middle of the sidewalk.
Fact.
Stroll on the side.
Oh my God. Okay, your worst date you've ever been on.
Oh, this guy snorted cocaine off my boob, and I didn't know that's what he was doing.
What are you how could you not know someone's doing that? On your boob?
He literally told me, he's like, I don't party, whatever. And then he like lowered his head and snorted cocaine off my boob. And I was like, what is happening? But that's another podcast for another time.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Your first concert.
I went to a Dave Matthews Band concert in college because I went to Wisconsin, and I never smoked weed before, and I smoked weed and I had like a full panic attack, and now I can't listen to Dave Matthews.
I love how everything has an additional story. It's great.
I know you're like, can you be fast with this? I'm like, actually, I can't.
No, so. I like it. Something about you that would completely surprise us. I mean, we know so much, but give me something that would surprise us.
I really like to paint. Like, I really like to draw and paint. I have a very like artsy side to me that is just peaceful, and I'm good at drawing people's faces.
Okay, cute. Your favorite late night snack?
Oh, dollar pizza.
Oh,
Two bros.
Yum.
Should get some pizza.
What was your first job?
My first job was being a hostess at a Korean restaurant in Brooklyn.
Okay.
When I was 16.
All right. You were the hostess?
Korean barbecue, the hostess with the mostest. And I also taught tennis. I was a tennis player back in the day.
What's your favorite TV show to binge watch right now? Or what are you watching?
I'm watching Pam and Tommy documentary on Hulu.
Oh, I need to watch that. I haven't watched that
It's
yet.
not a documentary. It's a show. You would love it.
Okay.
The actresses are
that
amazing.
Netflix?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
However, Pamela Anderson just announced she's going to do a Netflix documentary to show like the real behind it all. So I'm proud of her.
Okay. All right. I'm going to watch both of these. And I always end with, how do you treat yourself? So if the day is all about you, what do you do to treat yourself?
I love to hang out with my cat named Butter, and I actually like to kind of remove myself from social situations, and I really like being alone and eating whatever I want to eat and letting myself just relax and not perform for anyone. And yeah, I'm just veg.
Just a day with yourself. A day by yourself.
Exactly.
All right. Listen, you have been so much fun. I'm so glad that you're happy right now. I'm so excited that you're having the beautiful wedding in the Hamptons. Honestly, I wish you nothing but the best, and I can't wait to hear all about everything coming up in your life, and really good luck with the wedding. That's so much fun.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Melissa. This was so much fun, and your podcast is awesome.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much. I'm coming on yours next, so I will see you soon.
Yes, I can't wait.
Thank you. All right. We'll talk soon, honey.
Power Penny days are back, just in time for spring at JCPenney. Stock up on wardrobe staples to home essentials, like tees for the family, select styles starting at $7. Soak up the savings with $5 Home Expressions quick dry bath towels in an array of colors. Or use your coupon to save an extra 25% store-wide. Incredible prices, spectacular savings. Hurry, ends Sunday. JCPenney. Offers and coupon valid 3/24 to 3/27. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details. Power Penny deals excluded from coupon.
Time to take this submarine back up.
Oh, but it's tax season up there, Captain.
You know, all that stressing over taxes isn't necessary with TaxAct.
How did you get...
April here. To remind you that with TaxAct, you're guaranteed your maximum refund while filing for less.
Beats being submerged for another month. Hey, Captain?
To your stations. We're headed home.
Guess I should probably close that window I opened.
What?
Kidding.
TaxAct.
Switch to TaxAct today and start for free.
See taxact.com for details.